Will you continue down that river?
This man is black! Fire!
After nearly 20 years of waiting for a ninja Assassin's Creed game, they go ahead and ruin it by putting a ninja as the main character. They put a black man in Assassin's Creed. How can they do this? This is terrible. As a gamer, I'm looking for historical authenticity. I'm looking for an Asian American male, Asian American specifically, because that's the only way I can view Asians, as the main lead character, because I care. I think it's disgusting that they would replace the history of Asian males and put a black man in the game as well as a woman. That's terrible. She would have been in the kitchen and this black guy would have been in the fields. I cannot believe that Ubisoft would stoop to a new low and attack a group of people just like how they attack white men every day in Disney movies. This is disgusting, this is flagrant, and this is nasty, and I will not support this game just because of the simple fact that they put a black man as the main character. I felt the same exact way when I saw Tom Cruise in a movie, seeing The Last Samurai being a white man. Oh wait, no, I didn't. I feel the same way when I looked at Nio and saw an Englishman being the main character. Oh wait, no, I didn't. But it's different now because I care about historical accuracy in video games, and that Assassin's Creed, the game that is known for historical accuracy of plugging yourself in a computer and going back in time, I care about historical accuracy, despite the fact that Assassin's Creed pretty much threw away that whole historical accuracy thing after Assassin's Creed 3. How would I know? I never played the games. I just know because it became trash after that. Now, a lot of gamers on Twitter are losing their mind, blowing their stack, saying that they put a black main character in Assassin's Creed. How could Ubisoft do this? The DEI is too strong. They have a black man and some random woman as the main character. And to be honest, that's not the main character I would go with. I would go with the goated dude from Shogun. He's literally the either villain or main character of every movie where there's an Asian guy. But it seems to me like Ubisoft either A, wanted to go a different direction with the story, or B, they might be right. It might be some DEI, put a black guy and a woman and figure out that we'll get more sales and it'll look better. But I don't know why people lose their minds. I don't know why they're blowing their stack as if this is replacing some type of character. It's the same thing as like Assassin's Creed 3. I would have understood that a little bit more when you had one of Ezio's ancestors get replaced by a Native American guy. And I hated that personally just because of the fact that that guy stunk and the story was pretty blasé and boring. And that's fair, but at the same time, I didn't lose my mind because a Native American talking Chala Mwawala language was now the main character. When it comes to this game, I could care less if it's good, but since it's Ubisoft, it's going to be a monumental letdown. But let it be clear, a lot of these nerds is losing their mind just because they see a black main character, which is corny, stupid, and is absolutely giving Ubisoft way too much leeway, because now Ubisoft is going to go out there and when they get review bombed with negative reviews because their game sucks, they have microtransactions, they have all these different features that no one asked for, despite everyone waiting 20 some odd years for a Ninja Assassin's Creed game. Literally, since I played Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, I've thought as a little kid, oh boy, it'd be so cool to be a ninja running around in feudal Japan. The closest game I've ever got to that, which is Ghost of Tsushima, which is a goated game, was the closest I've ever been to that. And Assassin's Creed will more than likely drop the ball. But now, when everybody has legitimate criticism and legitimate reasons why the game sucks, the game studio are going to come out and say, obviously this is a blatant attack of racism and that these people are attacking us because we chose a black main character. Honestly, this might be Ubisoft playing 4D chess. They realized they were going to make a crappy game and chose a black main character so he could be the lightning rod that got struck down and basically was the scapegoat for two reasons: for people to generate and focus their hate on, and at the same time have the public look at this and say, oh my god, that's terrible, it's a black main character, we should actually support this, it's a good game. Assassin's Creed Shadows more than likely will be a letdown, but that's because every game since Assassin's Creed 3 has been a huge letdown. Unfortunately, Assassin's Creed went the way of Call of Duty, where every year there's a new release, every year they're pumping something out, and they didn't really care about the story. They made it up after Assassin's Creed 3. There was actually a cohesive binding story in Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, where it wasn't just you going back in the past, it was you were going back in the past to find information for artifacts in order to affect the real world. Now in Assassin's Creed 3, they realized, oh boy, if we actually finish the story, we might not be able to make more Assassin's Creed games to get money from these nerds. And what they did was they finished off the story. They gave you a stupid cliffhanger ending that destroyed the entire legacy of Assassin's Creed. And from then on out, they just made games that they thought would be fun or interesting. Of course, they removed things like multiplayer because that took way too much work. They removed things like bug testing and other things where people's faces were melting off because that takes work. And since then, I don't know how many Assassin's Creed games have come out. If I had to guess, I would say 20 plus. And it's every year. It's a Call of Duty annual release. Sometimes it's kind of fun. Sometimes it's kind of interesting. Sometimes they pick a setting like ancient Greece or some type of area that seems interesting. But then you remember it's Assassin's Creed and the gameplay is rehashed, it's reused, and it's recycled to the point that they don't add anything. The difficulty becomes easier and easier, and these main characters become forgettable. Assassin's Creed 1 was an Altair. Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio Auditore. Throughout the games, you're playing as Desmond Miles. Now you get Assassin's Creed 4. Who the hell is that? Pirate guy. Assassin's Creed 5. What, you in France or something? Their brother and sister? I don't know. They're forgettable. The game has lost its soul. The game has lost its luster. It's something that whoever the creator of the game was has no integrity. He's not like the dude from God of War, where he actually has respect for the art and the craft, where he was able to destroy the series as opposed to end the series. At least with God of War, even though the new games are rehashes and are completely different, the original series of God of War, the trilogy, is a perfect trilogy all by itself, and the new God of War games are actually good, so it doesn't even matter because they're actually good. But with Assassin's Creed, they have no respect for their own product. They drove it into the ground, and now you have Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a complete cash grab because unironically, since Assassin's Creed became popular and people have been playing it, people have been making fan art, people have been suggesting Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan. More than likely, the people who create Assassin's Creed knew that fans wanted this. They've been sitting on this, and 20 plus years later decided to finally drop it. Like, this is just plain disrespectful if this game bombs, if this game ain't good. In my opinion, I think the game is going to be another Assassin's Creed rehash. You're just going to supposedly, basically, it's going to be just a coincidence that there are feudal Japanese samurai. It's going to be a coincidence that you're in Japan, because I looked at the trailer and I didn't see things that I thought as a little kid. Being a ninja, being covert, going through the cityscape, basically having all these different rooftops that connect, like in Rurouni Kenshin, where you're very tightly together and you can move from point A to point B very quickly. But instead, in the trailer, you just saw what every Assassin's Creed was. You're just sitting on a corner, someone hands you a note, oh boy, we got a target, let's go run out into the woods. That when I think of Japan, I think of, by the way, when I think of Japan, I'm talking about from an anime nerd little kid perspective of, you have all the different dojos, you have all the different buildings lined up, you basically have a straight line where you can run across the roof and then assassinate a target that's down below. These guys in the trailer put a dude in the forest and you're chasing after him in the forest. The forest is one of the most boring places in Assassin's Creed 3. It's not a cityscape. It's not like Assassin's Creed 2 where you get to like climb things like the Duomo or other cool architecture. That's another thing that Assassin's Creed completely lost, is that as you go around the city, I mean, there was 20 games, I'm sure one of them had this element, but you would go around and you would find popular architecture. You climb the architecture, it'd be part of the game. It was fast paced, it was cool. Now it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna go in the forest and get this guy. It's like, bro, you're in feudal Japan, why aren't you climbing like a dynasty tower, a castle? Why aren't you in the city? Why aren't you jumping from rooftop to rooftop like a ninja, instead of like some guy who's standing on the corner asking for some dollars to go get an assassination contract? It makes no sense. It looks lazy, and more than likely it's going to be just that, because I gave up on Assassin's Creed after Assassin's Creed 3. I've never seen an Assassin's Creed game that really went back to its roots. I think this game is going to be trash, and it's unfortunate that internet nerds decided to go the route of my black man in my game, because now people are going to basically see that the game sucks, it's lazy, it's rehashed. But because there was a bunch of Twitter tards who were out there saying that the game sucks because there's a black main character, we're going to have people come out and white knight it. They're going to say, oh, you only care because there's a black character. It's actually a good game when it's really not a good game. And we're basically going to have low IQ activities on each side. At the end of the day, Assassin's Creed is getting rehashed. It's going to have a black main character, supposedly. And it seems like, to me, people are focusing on the wrong things, when in reality, we should all be unifying and be on the same front to say Ubisoft is pure garbage.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!